So, okay, we're joined by Tim Traurig from the Guardians here in the SCV, and you've just opened another chapter. We'll talk about that in a minute. And Dylan Rucker is going to join us by phone here in a
I think
minute.
we got him.
Do we have him?
I think so.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Andrew.
From All Heart Heating and Cooling. I think we're okay, right? Now,
We'll
Tim,
see.
you're with the Guardians. Why don't you give us, before I get to Dylan, why don't you give us a little overview of what the Guardians is all about here in the SCV?
Sure. The Guardians SCV is a nonprofit out here in Santa Clarita that provides support for our veterans, military, law enforcement, and firefighters, men and women. Basically, what we do is we bring like-minded individuals with similar backgrounds and experiences together to do life and deal with some of the collateral damage that could be in our lives and our relationships from what we've seen and experienced. And it gives these men and women an opportunity to build really close relationships in the group, which makes them feel safe, and then gives them a chance to talk about maybe some of those things they wouldn't normally talk about.
Right.
That population is really good. We're experts at taking our emotions and feelings and putting them in a box. And that works great for while we're doing the job and we're in the military and going on deployments. But it can create some collateral damage in your life, in your relationships, when you don't deal with some of that stuff that's been put away for so long. So we work with that and do service projects in the community, things like that, connecting with that population.
Totally agree with you.
You said you started it in what, 2021?
We actually started as a small group in 2015, and then in 2021, we kind of looked at each other and said, this really works. What do you think about making this a nonprofit?
Right.
We could do so much more for our population of people. So we did, and within 6 months, we quadrupled our attendance. So I knew right away the need is really out there for these men and women who really serve us on a daily basis and have sacrificed so much, their families as well, in their lives. Give them a place where they can find that camaraderie, connection, and support.
Sure. Now, you have a personal story as well, something that inspired you. Let us know a little bit about your background.
Sure. First of all, I'm a retired LA City firefighter. I spent 35 years with LA City. My dad was a Korean War veteran and also was an LAPD officer who was shot in his third or fourth year on the job, and his partner was killed. And I think I can look back and see that my dad experienced some trauma from those experiences, and I think it affected how he related emotionally to me as his son, but to his family. And he was a great dad, but I could also see there was some disconnect there from his emotions. And I think that's one of the things that has helped motivate me to really help others heal, so that there isn't that collateral damage, that we can save our marriages and relationships. There's such a high rate of divorce, domestic violence, drug use, and alcoholism amongst our population of people. And to me, that's just the signs and symptoms of them trying to deal with a lot of that stuff that's been put in a box.
Well, I've been an advocate for business, doing business local. So we live here, we work here, we play here, we rely on the police and the fire and our first responders to, save ourselves, save our families, and what have you. And that's why I tell people, when you're out shopping, you went to, what was it, the bargain grocery outlet, right? Yeah, and it's locally owned, and that way the money stays in the community, if you would. And I'm a big advocate for that. The station's a big advocate for that as well. And it does pay off. I got to tell you, people need to pay attention to where you're putting your money here locally. Now, we also have on the line with us right now Dylan Rucker. He's with the All Heart Heating and Cooling. And Dylan, are you there?
I am.
Oh, great.
Perfect.
So Dylan, glad to have you on with us this morning. And it's part of that effort. Now, Dylan, you saw a need here, right? I mean, I don't want to give away your story, but what made you reach out to them, or what made you get involved with the Guardians?
Well, we started a couple years ago in the middle of COVID, a program that we call the All Heart Miracle Grant. And we were just basically looking at ways that we can kind of be a good example in our communities. And we started going to, some of the bigger charities and asking them and donating some money to them. And we started realizing that, they have a lot of stuff going on, and maybe the reach or the amount of money we can give them, it doesn't make as big an impact as we potentially could with something that's local and a little bit smaller and maybe flying under the radar. So we started basically running radio ads, and we did partnerships with your guys' radio station and a couple other ones that would promote this, and then people would reach out to us and kind of tell us their story and why they should receive this grant. And then we would go through and we would read all these stories and we would pick them. It's slowly has built over the last couple of years into now, we give away basically money every month. And then we also, with partners with the radio stations, put some publicity on the air for them as well. So it brings a little bit of light and some information to the people that potentially may not hear them typically. And then we give them a little bit of money too to try to help them, push their cause a little bit more. So the Guardians had reached out to, or had submitted one of the applications, and I read the story, and we knew right off the bat they were perfect fit for what we're doing. We decided to go ahead and choose them. And then I had a conversation with Tim, and they do great work, it sounds like. So I'm very, very happy to be able to help them in any way, shape I can.
And that's very clear. And you are a local family-owned business, correct? I got that right?
That is correct. Yep.
And
I've been in this industry, the heating and air conditioning industry, since 2000. I grew up around this. My father had a company. We saw, like, during COVID, it was like, I looked at everything and said, we're the community leaders and we're the people that are promoting something positive. I said, we're just a heating and air conditioning company. What can we do? And it was like this kind of came to fruition of doing something like this and being something that hopefully promotes something positive, helps people, and does something good in the communities. So,
all right, great. And you said you guys had a great conversation.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Dylan on the phone a while back, and Dylan, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate All Heart Heating and Cooling for supporting us as a nonprofit and the work that we're doing in this community and elsewhere in supporting our veterans, military, law enforcement, and firefighters. And it's because of people like you and companies like you that allow us to do what we do. And you're right, there are some smaller nonprofits that are out there trying to do some really great work, and we could not do it without the kind of support that you have offered us. And so we greatly appreciate you, Dylan. Thank you so much.
It's
we appreciate you too. Without you guys and the brave men and women of the armed forces and the firefighters and the police, and we couldn't function as well. So we appreciate it, and I'm very happy to be able to help you guys in any way, shape, or form. So thank you.
Thank you.
This is the perfect example of community coming together, and you got the radio station that's helping to promote the situation, and then you've got a local business who takes money locally and is willing to give back to the community. And then you guys, the Guardians, are out there helping people in need that protect and save us. I mean, look at that complete circle and how great that
Synergy
is.
is wonderful.
So, but we're out of time.
Well,
we talk some more.
Are we going to come back and talk, or what's your
I
website?
think we've got to. No, they got to cut it.
Oh, I want them to stay. I want them both to stay. All right. Well,
We'll invite them out for breakfast.
Okay, we'll do that. Can I?
I'm good for breakfast.
Everybody's got me for breakfast.
We love food.
If you ever want to get men together for something, you say
It's
there's
breakfast.
food.
That's
right?
it.
Okay, there's food.
I'll remember
and they're
that.
There. There's no
I'll remember
question
that.
about it.
All right, I'll do weather on the other side.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much, Rita, and
you.
and again, Dylan, thanks for what you're doing too in the community and the Guardians, what they're doing, and I'm sure we'll have you guys back at some point in time.